Brad Hatfield is one of Boston's most prolific and popular musicians, as well as an Emmy Award-winning composer. If you've enjoyed the music of the world-renowned Boston Pops Orchestra under the direction of John Williams and Keith Lockhart, you've probably heard Brad playing the piano or keyboards with musicians such as James Taylor, Yo-Yo Ma, to name just a few. If you watch TV or go to the movies, you've no doubt heard some of Brad's compositions or playing. That was Brad playing solo piano for the opening scene and end credits of Clint Eastwood's Oscar-winning Mystic River, and many others. In addition to these accolades, Brad is a teacher who believes in education, which is near and dear to him. This video will look at Brad's educational story, which took him to Cambridge College.
So I took a leave of absence from Berkeley because my professional schedule got a little too crazy. And I started writing music for television and started to do some things with films as well. And at that point, I just had this ball rolling, and it rolled and it rolled and it rolled. And then you have kids and they're getting ready to go to college and you're going, wait a minute, how are we going to make this work? My wife is full-time over at Berklee College of Music, and it was a logical place for me to go back to, and I applied. The first job I applied for was the dean of the writing division, a very lofty position for somebody with no degree, which I had none. And I was sat at this board table with about 20 people scrutinizing. I would say about 7 or 8 of them knew me, and they knew what I was capable of in terms of just a self-employed person that's going to make something out of nothing. So I think they appreciated what I brought to the table. But also at the same table were a lot of folks that are going, where's the degree? At this point, I found out about Cambridge College. A friend of mine, Ed Friedland, graduated there with a master's in education, bass player, great player, and he graduated maybe 10 years before. So I heard about Cambridge College as something that could work for an adult learner with my busy schedule and go to the weekends and the evenings. I had to turn down a lot of gigs, but at least I knew it would work. So I went to Cambridge College, and I went to that first meeting, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know, how am I going to do this? But what I loved was the most diverse crowd. Everybody from seasoned middle management people, just people from all over the world. I felt like I had a place there because I was just as different as everybody else. I didn't feel like I was any kind of weird outcast. I felt like I've got my own story. And so once I got into Cambridge College, I said, okay, this is it. I put my head down, and 6 semesters in a row, I just powered through and came out the other side. Meantime, I started teaching here, very much accepted here as a part-timer. And as I got more comfortable here, and then all of a sudden Berklee called, so now I'm teaching there. So I'm at both of these places. I love Berklee, I'm a product of it. The point is, what I came away with Cambridge College is what I can do now that I couldn't do before. I can put together a paper, I can put together a proposal, I can speak their language. I understand it, having moved through it, and being a student. And being a student with teachers that were also actual professionals. There was a lot of kindred activity going there. So I came out with this new information, a lot about negotiation, a lot about people skills and management. Running a classroom, I'm sorry, that's management. You understand who needs what at one point, and you also need to know when it's time to say, hey, we got to get this done. I would say there's a good 20%, even though this is a music-centric education that I'm doing here, it's also industry. I would say a good 20% of what I learned at Cambridge College in those 2 years is in this classroom every semester that I teach. It's just, it's coming right through, and I understand it. I'm confident with it. I'm able to express it and quantify it so I can deliver it in a way. So it's empowered me for a lot of different reasons. When I got the piece of paper, within 30 days, I had a full-time job. So that tells you something about the power of it.